Narcissistic personality, a journey through psychology and Islamic teachings. It begins with a whisper, a subtle focus on self. Slowly it grows louder, consuming thoughts and actions until it transforms into a blinding force. I, me, and myself. These words are not just pronouns. They are seeds of arrogance when spoken with undue pride. Both psychology and Islamic teachings reveal how self-centeredness erodes relationships, distorts reality, and blinds the soul. Roots of narcissism. But first, if this topic moved you, comment your thoughts and subscribe for more powerful insights. Psychologists describe narcissism as a mask, an armor built in childhood. Children neglected emotionally often create a false sense of superiority to shield themselves from feelings of rejection, while those excessively praised for superficial qualities may develop an exaggerated sense of self-importance. Modern neuroscience provides evidence of this imbalance. Brain scans of individuals with narcissistic tendencies reveal reduced activity in the anterior insula, a region responsible for empathy and emotional regulation. This diminished capacity for empathy explains their difficulty forming genuine relationships. Behavioral studies highlight their tendency to exploit others for personal gain, often feigning remorse or charm to achieve their goals. Islam rejects arrogance. Islam categorically denounces arrogance and self-admiration, identifying them as traits that lead to spiritual ruin. The Quran recounts the story of Iblis, whose refusal to bow to Adam exemplifies the destructive nature of pride. Iblis declared, "I am better than him. You created me from fire, and you created him from clay." Surah Al-Araf, verse 12. This act of arrogance led to his eternal disgrace, showing how pride blinds individuals to truth. The Quran warns us against arrogance, stating, "Do not walk on the earth with arrogance. Indeed, you will never tear the earth apart, and you will never reach the mountains in height." Surah Al-Isra, verse 37. Another verse reminds, "Indeed, Allah does not like the arrogant and boastful." Surah An-Nisa, verse 36. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, further warned, "No one who has an atom's weight of arrogance in his heart will enter paradise." Sahih Muslim. He explained, "Arrogance is rejecting the truth and looking down on people." The danger of I, me, and myself. Ibn al-Qayyim, one of the great scholars of Islam, delved deeply into the spiritual harms of arrogance and self-obsession. He highlighted the dangerous connection between arrogance and the excessive use of self-centered language such as I, me, and myself. He described these pronouns as the whispers of Shaitan, Satan, who uses them to inflate the ego and distance the individual from Allah. Ibn al-Qayyim wrote that Shaitan's goal is to make people fall in love with their own image, convincing them that their opinions, achievements, and desires are supreme. He warned that such self-glorification blinds the heart, making it impervious to guidance and truth. Ibn al-Qayyim remarked, "The greatest sins come from one's obsession with I, me, and myself. These are the three devils that Shaitan uses to ruin the human soul." This teaching aligns with the story of Qarun in the Quran, who arrogantly claimed credit for his wealth and status, saying, "I was only given it because of knowledge I have." Surah Al-Qasas, verse 78. His self-centeredness led to his destruction as Allah caused the earth to swallow him and his possessions. Mind and soul impact. Psychologically, narcissism isolates individuals, damages relationships, and creates a cycle of unmet expectations. Spiritually, arrogance distances a person from Allah. The Quran states, "Indeed, He does not like the proud. Surah An-Nahl, verse 23. The Prophet, peace be upon him, warned of the ultimate fate of the arrogant. The most hated person to Allah is the one who is quarrelsome and arrogant. Sahih al-Bukhari. This alienation from divine mercy stems from an inability to recognize one's dependence on Allah. Curing narcissism. Ibn al-Qayyim emphasized the importance of humility and gratitude as antidotes to arrogance. He wrote, "The servant who recognizes his utter dependence on Allah and acknowledges his own flaws will be protected from pride." Islam teaches that true humility comes from recognizing Allah's greatness and our reliance on Him. The Quran reminds, "If you are grateful, I will surely increase you in favor." Surah Ibrahim, verse 7. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught that humility is a path to elevation. None humbles himself for the sake of Allah except that Allah raises him in status. Sahih Muslim. Acts of worship, such as prayer and remembrance, help purify the heart, while serving others fosters humility and gratitude. Modern psychology echoes these principles. Therapy focuses on building self-awareness, fostering empathy, and cultivating gratitude. Exercises such as journaling, mindfulness, and self-reflection align closely with Islamic teachings. Umar ibn al-Khattab said, "Hold yourself accountable before you are held accountable." The journey forward. This episode has introduced the psychological and spiritual dimensions of narcissism, focusing on its roots and remedies. We have also explored the wisdom of Ibn al-Qayyim, whose insights shed light on the spiritual dangers of self-centered language. Future episodes will dive deeper into how narcissism affects relationships, families, and communities, while exploring practical tools for self-purification and humility. As Allah reminds us in the Quran, the successful one is the one who purifies the soul. Surah Ash-Shams, verse 9. Let us take these lessons to heart, striving to overcome the devils of I, me, and myself as we strengthen our connection with Allah and others.